Welcome back to another episode of the Armchair Pundits podcast. And this is a review show. Bit spaced out, obviously, because someone's team decided to play in the new year so they can boast and say we got the first win of 2025.
That's the FA. You can't put that on us.
I'll put it on Arsenal.
we
Arsenal
didn't.
want to claim everything.
No, that means we only got to play. We got to play on Saturday at 5:30. This doesn't help us.
Oh, yeah, true, maybe. But it was an easy game anyway. But we'll get to that. But Happy New Year to you too. Happy New Year to all of you guys as well. You guys enjoy your New Year?
Yeah. It's alright. Just chilled out.
Yeah, it was good, man. It was good. How was yours? All good?
Chilled, just with family, seeing in the new year. Yeah, just chilled. So, without any further ado, we'll go on to the predictions from last week and see who got close. I don't think anyone got it right. So, Lamont had Newcastle to win 3-0. And if probably Newcastle didn't take their foot off the gas, they probably would have won 3-0.
3-0. That's been generous.
Well, more, yeah. Probably more. Yourself, Bevan, you said 1-1. Doing your old reverse psychology.
No. No. At one point, I was like, "Yeah, I'm right," and then we turned it around. I'm glad that we did.
Daryl said 3-2 to Spurs against Wolves. Leon said 2-1 to Spurs against Wolves. And I said 3-1 against West Ham away. So, no one's got a correct score yet, unfortunately, but we'll keep going. So, before I start, to thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if it's your first time, and to share it. Keep sharing it because we need to get those viewers up, man. So, start a Liverpool game. Why not? There's not much to say.
Not much to say, but you have 5 goals to talk about. Taking a mick, mate.
It's because
This
West Ham was
fake
so poor.
modesty is
No,
not.
it's because West Ham was
does
so
not look
poor.
good on you, mate.
West Ham were terrible. Listen, they were awful. I was fortunate to be at the game. So I had a decent. Luckily, the first 3 goals were in front of me because I was near the corner flag. And as Leon said, modesty. Yes, the game we probably should have scored 8 or 9. Like how Salah left that game with only 1 goal is a madness, and still managed to get a high rating because he played so well. But he just missed 3 or 4 complete, not complete sitters, but 3 or 4 goals that we've seen him score during his career. So 3-0 up at half time. I'm sitting there WhatsApping people saying, okay, cool, Gravenberch and Gakpo on yellow cards. How soon can we sub them off? Because I don't want them to miss Man United. That's how the game got to. But going back, first goal, good goal. Bit of a like some other goals this season, this weekend. Sorry, a bit of to me, but good solid finish from Diaz. Salah's goal, I was sitting next to West Ham fans screaming, "That's offside, Rev! That's offside! You can't let him have that." But Salah's smart. Salah was smart, and he saw it. He said that Diaz was screaming at him to get away from it, so he runs towards the goalkeeper. The move he does, obviously at the time, everyone was like, "Has he really meant that? Has he really meant the first nutmeg and the nutmeg in the second time?" And like I said, I was in line with it. So when I saw the nutmeg, I looked at the West Ham guys behind me. I'm like, how have they decided to let him do that? Trying to be like a West Ham guy and say, you can't be having that. But deep down, I was celebrating.
It's an absolute mockage, bro. Absolute mockage.
That was taking a mick, man. I don't think he meant the assist though.
He
I think
didn't.
that was a bad touch.
He said it. He said it after the game. He said he didn't mean the first one, but he meant the second one. Gakpo dispatches it. Another piece of bad news. Well, a piece of bad news. I did a wild card. I put Gakpo in as my differential, and I thought, you know what, Cunha's been on fire. He's probably going to get a ban. Let me just put Cunha back in. So I literally had Gakpo in my fantasy team for like 4 hours. Then last minute, I put Cunha in. Cunha comes off at half time, gets me pretty much nothing. Gakpo scores. And I'm like, so annoying. So annoying. But he scores a goal. I think it's now, 9 goals in last 13 games. He's killing it at the moment. And then Salah gets in on the act. How the goalkeeper lets it in, because it wasn't even that powerful shot. Just there was accuracy, but when he laid it off, I didn't think it was going to go in the back of the net.
Yeah, I think that's just West Ham at the minute. That's West Ham
Yeah,
this season, man. They look like it. There were some moments in that game. Would it have been things have been different if when Kudus has hit the post
yeah,
or Paqueta's chance, but then you just overran them. And I don't even
yeah,
think you beat them 5-0 and it looks so easy.
yeah, bro.
That looked so comfortable. I don't even think they were that they need to have showers after the game. That's how comfortable it
No,
was.
Leon said to me, "It's good to see a team win 5-0, but it probably wasn't as exciting as you want it to be because the second half was a possession. Literally, we scored the fourth goal with Trent, and then the intensity just dropped. The fans left. Our players were like, okay, cool, no injuries. The game's done, and let's protect. And West Ham were like, are we going to try? Are we not? Are we going to? And unfortunately, the atmosphere died a bit. But Salah woke up again. The run through the middle. I've seen some people cussing, saying that it was like one of the worst Bambi on ice kind of dribbles everywhere, where the ball was just moving central and he was hitting his shin, hitting his right foot. He doesn't mean it. It did look a bit suspect, but the elite player he is, he passed the ball at the right time for Jota just to slot it. Jota the slotter, just to top in, go home,
Good finish.
and yeah, good finish, man. So yeah, really happy. Not only complaint, like I say, is we've lost Gomez, and I said on the last episode, what can derail us is an injury at the back, and losing Gomez. I'm happy Kwanzaa came in and he dusted off the poor performance he had last 2 or 3 games, and it was okay. He played well, but as you said yourself, it wasn't much of opposition. So yeah, injury. We know Gomez. You know it's a hamstring. For most people, hamstrings are not going to be 1 week, so he's going to be out 3 to 6 weeks probably. We haven't heard anything yet, which is annoying.
When's Konate back?
See, potentially Man United on Sunday. Potentially,
Yeah,
Slot did say that with there being a week, but it's not a week. He said something about there being a week. It should be okay for him to come back, but maybe he was talking about the Tottenham game. But potentially, but I don't think they risk him. If I'm honest, to start him with
yeah.
Konsa available, I don't know. Maybe they'll give him 60 minutes and take him out, but it's more likely that he'll start Konsa. But you're right. With Konate back potentially in the squad on Sunday, but then there's no backup. As in, we're still back to a square one almost. We're another centre back down
Fair enough. How do
in a
you how
busy
do you
period.
how do you feel about the Real Madrid news as it came out? Like the timing of it. Not
Real Madrid have just been scummy, bro. Let's be honest. We're not gonna sell him. Number one. That's number two. Number one, Trent has already said that he's seeing out the rest of the season at Liverpool. He's not leaving before the end of the season. So he's already
yeah.
said that a couple of months ago. So they know that whatever 20 million or whatever, it's not going to be accepted. But so they're just basically saying, yeah, they're trying to say if it does happen, he's ours, and we're letting you know we're going to take him. We can try and take him now with a bid and try and keep everyone talking, or he's going to come at the end of the season. So it was just if it was a true bid, and obviously it was all over the mainstream media, it's just scummy because it's just trying to disturb. I can't even say Champions League because it's unsettling Trent possibly, maybe.
That's what I thought. I thought it was kind of distasteful.
Bro, this is normal Real Madrid
It's what
behavior,
they do.
bully boy
Yeah.
tactics. This is what they do. Like, this is not new for them. Like, they tried it with Lenny Yoro. They've
Mhm.
done it with Camavinga. They've done it with Chalmini. This is how they do. They make it known that they're gonna get their guy, and it's just a matter of time. That's basically what they've said to you, is that he's not going to sign a contract with you lot. So do you want him to lose him for nothing, or
That's where it's nasty
I
because
think
they've been putting out feelers saying, "Oh, we've got a good relationship with Liverpool, and we don't want to spoil it." That's what you heard all before the window. Good relationship, and then you go and put in a bid in. Like,
no? But you got to
where's the good?
remember though, James, it's the newspaper. Marca is like,
True,
I,
a
I
mouthpiece,
know
but it's their mouthpiece though.
they're definitely their mouthpiece, and definitely I would have thought under the instruction of Florentino Perez, do you need to do in it? But it's got nothing to do with us. What do you need to do? It's just an unwritten rule that Real Madrid are known for this behavior, man. It's nothing new.
yeah, I think I'd get it if he had like 2 years left on his contract and they were coming in
Mm.
with some bully boy tactics. But 6 months left, there's no.
It's because they got so many injuries at right back because
Yeah,
they
they got it
haven't
right back.
got
Yeah, no, yeah,
Carvajal.
Yeah, but it's the fact he wouldn't go anyway. That's where it's silly. Like he's Liverpool is his club, and he lives and breathes for Liverpool, so he's not going to leave with us top of the table with him being able to go down in history, 2 Premier League titles, and if we get super lucky, the Champions League and whatever cups come with it. It just like I said, it was nasty, it was scummy, and it was unnecessary.
it's diabolical work.
Unnecessary. So yeah, regarding the game, there's not much more we can say. I mean, comfortable win. I didn't expect it to be that comfortable, but I should have, because as I said to Leon, it's the third game in a row we've scored 5 goals against West Ham. So I don't know. On to the next. We've got Man United coming up next. I never expect us to batter Man United, even though we have done most recently. Last year we were flying at the time and we drew 0-0. I think we had like 23 or 30 shots on goal last season, and we didn't score one. So boy, yes, I know everyone's gonna say, but it's not the Liverpool that we see right now, which is very true. So I'm hoping. I don't care if we won 1-0. Just beat them, so then Lamont can actually be here this time and face the music properly.
Are you
Because we
trying to
ain't
say that
facing
he's
it.
not here? He's not here for other reasons apart from the fact that Man United lost, or what are you
Who
trying to say?
knows? Like I was sick. I couldn't talk, and I was getting told that I wasn't gonna be here. But I don't know, someone said he's got to have early night sleep because he's got a long drive tomorrow. I don't know. I don't know.
Allegations.
I'm sure it's all true. Listen, I'm sure it's all true. Yeah. So have a nice sleep. Dream of Man United, the crumble and all that. But um, but yeah, we'll move on. We'll move on because you guys have won 3-1, keeping the pressure on, so to speak.
Yeah, so to speak. I think there's gonna be some Arsenal fans. I think that they don't. I think they wrote the season off when we drew those 2 games at Everton and Fulham, and I
Mm.
think the bounce back since has been a lot better. So the 5-1, not necessarily the game against Ipswich, but um, today's game it was. I don't know. It's a bit of a strange one, really. They scored a very good goal. Burmo's goal was a good goal. He's given Raya the eyes, put it near post. Do you think maybe Calafiori could have done a bit better? He's kind of shown him inside, really.
And Rhea
Yeah, the thing is, I know what we always say about keepers not being beat on the near
beaten,
post.
yeah.
Yeah, but then sometimes keepers talk about that and say it's not as easy as you think it is. Um, and sometimes it isn't. It's like when he's not thinking he's going to squeeze it into that near post. He thinks he's going to kind of cut across him. So it was a good finish, really. And as as a fan, sometimes I think, do we have enough to kind of get back into the game? But we score an equaliser that is quite well. It's a rebound, and the other 2 goals we score are like second balls, which it's not usually like Arsenal to score goals like this. It's
Mm.
quite scrappy. These are when teams are
It's
scoring us.
normally a direct corner, isn't it? Not
Yeah, that second goal was just chaos. There's a lot going on in the box. it's bounced off about 3 different people, and then Marino's had it happen. There are times where I've not been impressed by Marino. I'm not sure what he offers, but then sometimes he'll pop up against
A
with the odd
goal.
goal. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. But sometimes in football, I know that it's about the goals and about the results, but you actually want to see a guy that can actually affect the game in his position as being a midfielder. And then the last goal was a good finish from Martinelli, and I think that he needed a goal. Jesus needed a goal. They've needed to step up because of Saka being injured, and they've kind of done that in the last couple of games. It was good to see Wanyeri playing on the right, and I think he had a good game.
Mm-hmm.
He showed a glimpse of what he could be. He's 17. Um, I mean, Saka's going to be out until they say March at the latest. So could he step in? But I'd still like to see Arsenal do something in the transfer window. I don't think we can just rely on the squad that we've got, because one more injury, I don't know where we start playing players. Because even when you look at like who you start, where do you bring someone off the bench? Like you play Ranieri and he's meant to be covered for, as I said before, he's meant to be covered for Odegaard. So then who do you have? If something happens to another player, who do you bring on? I know that Kai Havertz weren't playing today because of illness, and it's just it is kind of everything is kind of running on the bare bones. It's just you do want more, and I think it's good. It was a good result in terms of a 3-1 game and you're winning, and even though you scored kind of scrappy goals, you're applying pressure to Liverpool. But at the moment, you lot are pairing, and we're kind of it's kind of stop start. But I saw something I saw something a couple of days ago, and it said that this Arsenal team in 2024, this Arsenal team scored more goals than the Invincible side, and it's kind of that's kind of mad, really, considering what was
But
quality.
that's why a lot of people throw shade on the Invincible side. Though you can't knock the Invincible aspect of it, it's just it's the way it happened. Where people say they didn't get enough goals, they didn't loads of draws. Because obviously you've had teams that have not gone invincible, and like you said, that have scored more
Yeah,
goals, looked more exciting. So yeah,
Got more points.
got more
yeah.
points, etc. But yeah, this Arsenal team right now, I know some aren't convinced. I'm still very wary. I'm still very wary that you guys can, even without. Um,
Is this more the modesty, James? Because I don't know.
no,
I
listen,
would if
I've
I
said it
would.
from the beginning. I've said it from the beginning. Have I not said it from the beginning that you are not out of it
You did say that from the
the whole
beginning,
time?
but
I've said it.
last season when the roles reversed, I weren't convinced about you. Lot. I did not think that you were going to win the league. I didn't see Liverpool, even when you were top by and you were
Mm.
top by
We
what,
were top now. Like this time last year, we had 42 points and we're top of the league.
but you look different.
Mm.
That's what I mean. It's not. It's sometimes yeah. There's getting over the line, but then like if you're gonna play against like Brentford, who a lot of the times cause their own demise, like
Mm.
with Vista trying to run out from just making mistakes.
It's getting my nerves, man. This is,
Yeah,
twice. He cost them twice
yeah.
because trying to run out the box, just clear it, just boot it up the other end, and then you let Arsenal recycle. That's one goal. I think that's the first goal. The second goal, why are you letting it go out, assuming it's going to be a goal kick? Like Arsenal are strong at corners. Just there's no one around you. Just hoof it and let them recycle again. Twice he could have let you recycle and no goal would have been scored. And then from two of his mistakes, you guys are 2-1 up. Game over. As soon as it went to 2-1, I said game over.
Yeah, I think it's different with this Arsenal because they look so dangerous from set pieces.
That's
But
why
but
you're always in
are
the game.
yes, but then not every team is gonna. It's not always. You can't rely on that. You have to have something else in your Arsenal. Badumcha. You like, do you know what I mean? There has to when you're actually playing the game from open play. There has to be something
Mm.
in there where you think this team look threatening from from open play in a way that like hurts me to say, but you lot do. Where you play this game when it's slow, you slow it down, then it goes quick, and
Mm.
then you look like you're gonna just pick a team apart. And I think that's the difference. I'd want to see more of that between my team. I'm in like the wins are great, and even today, we when we got 3-1 up, we just shut up shop. That was
Yeah.
it. We're just gonna hold our position, but that's what we had to do. I don't think we can afford to be kind of gung ho. But at the same time, with these kind of performances, what will happen is the Arteta will look at it and say, "Oh, we got Jesus is coming to form. We got Martinelli's coming to form.
Mm.
January will end, and then they'll go back to not knowing how to play football again. It'll be like Space Jam, and someone's taking all their aura."
See, the thing with me, it's people are looking at it in one aspect. I'm looking at a different aspect. Yes, it's 6 points, could be 9 points, but I've seen our end to the season, which no one's taking into account. Nobody is. So I tell you how we end the season.
You're going.
So we have people will laugh, but whatever. Tottenham, April 26th. Chelsea, May 3rd. Arsenal, May 10th. Brighton, May 18th. That's how we ended the season. So we have to get it. So that's why I'm saying we have to get it done before that. Because as good as we are now, who knows what's going to happen come there? We could be in the Champions League semi-finals. You guys could be out of stuff, and then you're playing one game a week, and then we're playing Tottenham, Chelsea, Arsenal, Brighton all in a row. And we draw one, we lose one, we draw another one. All of a sudden, a 9 point lead is down to 1 point. That's my worry. Yes, right now we look fantastic, but I don't like our end to the season. So you guys need to drop points before we get to that stage. And I just feel the gap needs to be wider than this before we get to that stage. I might be being pessimistic, very pessimistic, but that's not the kind of run you want at the end of the season. In
That
all
isn't.
honesty,
That isn't. But I think with the way that our season has gone this season so far, with the players that we've lost, and we've seen how we've looked without having Odegaard or without having Saka in that team, and
mm,
it looks very different. So if there isn't reinforcements brought into this team,
you are
one or two
lost.
players, then it doesn't. I wouldn't be I wouldn't be so like convinced that we're going to win the league.
Mm,
And I don't want to be just challenging for the title again. We have to do more. Arteta's got to show that he actually wants to do more to actually win it, and not just. I get he's going to say. I think he's already said about it's going to have to come from within or something like that, which lets me know
yeah,
what's going on.
you're not buying.
You're not buying, so then it's gonna. We're relying on players that have been out of form to who have now gone into form, but can that be maintained? But yeah, we won 3-1 today. We applied the pressure. We got Brighton on the weekend. They're not necessarily
They're not in good form at
they're
all.
not in good form. So hopefully we can go to Brighton and win. But there are teams that if they set up to be hard to beat, the low blocks and stuff like that,
Mm,
and then break on us. It, some of those kind of games worry me because I think how do we get goals? How do we control games from open play or
mm,
get goals from open play rather than having to rely just on set pieces?
that's
But yeah,
fair enough.
3-1 and we move.
Yeah. Okay, we'll move on to Leon. Daryl's unavailable, so Daryl's not here to give his view today. So it's all down to you, Lee.
Boy, the terrible run continues. Obviously, we didn't lose, so you got to take some solace from the fact that we got a point. But it's home games against three of the bottom three now that we've dropped points to. Not just home games, but home and away. So we've dropped points against Ipswich, Wolves, Crystal Palace, and Leicester already this
Mm,
season. Two of those games have been at home. In fact, yeah, two of those games have been at home. Two of those games have been away from home. What 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 I can't figure out with Spurs at the moment is where we are trying to manage games. We said it before about having leads. In this game in particular, we obviously went down really early. Another free kick, or I say set piece, a clever one from Wolves. We think most people in the stadium were expecting a shot at goal or a cross, and they played a short one across the 18-yard box for Huang to curl into the corner. It was a great finish, to be honest, and we responded well. Like after the goal, it was typical Spurs reactive. We'll have to wait till we can see before the team wakes up. We've got a goal, good header from a corner of ourselves. We don't score from any corners, so we'll take that. Then we got a penalty which I thought was a little bit fortuitous, but at the same time, we'll take it because there was contact in the box. End of the day, the player didn't get the ball, but Johnson also didn't actually have control of the ball at the time. So um, it was one of them as we take it, but something didn't feel right when we saw Son stepping up. We just did not look confident. And to be honest with you, the penalty wasn't that bad. Like I thought it was a more a good save than it was a bad pen. The keeper just guessed the right way, and Son had unfortunately played it at a height which made it easier. Like if the goalkeeper
Yeah.
goes the right way, he saves it, and he did. But not to be deterred, I felt Wolves were playing better at that point, but we got another goal against them on a play. And at that point, you felt, I think it was a good move between Brennan Johnson and Kulisevsky. And at that point, it was literally just before half time. We thought, okay, this is a bonus. Because I was thinking, if we can go into the break level, then, they can basically give him the hairdryer treatment at half time, which I don't really know if Ange does that or not. But we needed a response because at that point, Wolves were the better team. Second half, we didn't really do anything, I would say, to kill off the game. We didn't manage the game well. We were still quite open. And in the end, we got caught out by our centre backs going to sleep and letting Strand Larsen run onto a ball which was played from the 18-yard box by, I think it was Eight Nori. And he goes in,
Yeah, it was.
bangs it near post. And like Forster didn't even look like he was. I mean, he's immobile as it is, but to get beaten at your near post, you're kind of disappointed with that, really realistically. But it's a great finish by Strand Larsen, and we've dropped points again. But it's the lead up to that point which is a troubling thing, is that we get ourselves into good positions at times, and we just don't manage games well. Like we don't need everyone to keep bombing, keep possession, keep the ball. Like I know everyone keeps talking about the entertainment and this, that, and the other, but I guarantee you, no matter what, fans want to see points on the board. Fans want to see their team win, and like it's that catch-22 because when we had Conte, we had a great points to game ratio. Sometimes we did moan, and not me personally, because I was wanting a trophy, but fans, did moan that the football was bad at times. But when we look at the record, and how many points we won, how many goals we scored, Conte actually scored more goals than Ange. So all this stuff about playing great football, it doesn't automatically lead to more goals. All we're doing is we're creating more chances, but we still have the same problems that we've always had, which is when teams play a low block against us, we don't know how to break them down. And that is something that Tottenham have not been able to do, even when we had Pochettino in our so-called peak of our Premier League era, where we didn't win anything. We still struggled against teams who played a low block. So I don't know. We're still struggling with injuries. We've still got 8 players out. We need our defense back. Um, at the moment, I don't see how anything else will change unless we sort out the injury list or we bring in some more players, because for me, we don't have a deep enough squad to compete in all the competitions that we're currently still in. So I still see things staying at this particular level until after the transfer window is closed and players come back. And that kind of happens around the same time. Most of our players come back at the end of January, supposedly based on the predictions of their injury timetable. People like Vicario will be out indefinitely, probably till the end of the season. But to me, we need reinforcements before then.
Is
So
it likely that you're going to get reinforcements
Yeah, I
before
was thinking, do you get a
you don't
goalkeeper?
you,
Well,
who
you got a
knows?
young
Because
goalkeeper.
January is notoriously a bad month for you to buy players. Like teams will more often than not charge an arm and a leg. You can get loans maybe, but again, it all depends on if the teams are struggling financially and they need to balance the books. There might be some options there, but I can't see it because we don't normally get the checkbook out in the history of Spurs. We don't normally get a checkbook out, in a big way in January. I think last year we bought Dragusin, who at the moment, I'll be honest, I'm not sure if he's good enough for the level that we need him to be. I'm not gonna say he's rubbish or say, be completely negative. I think there's a player there, but I don't know if he's good enough to be in a team which is competing for or wants to compete for honours, because ultimately that's where we're trying to get to, and we need people that has the ability to do that on a consistent basis.
But I guess when I look back though, Porro came January, right?
hmm And he was
Ramiro,
awful for the first six
but
months.
yeah, true. But Romero came January.
No,
No,
Romero
was he?
came. Yeah,
Or was it
he was.
Bentancur? That I know Kulusevski definitely did.
Kulisevsky did and
Yeah.
Bentancur. Yeah,
And Bentancur. So that's
yeah.
that's still three. I
I
know.
think they were loans, and I
Yes, I
think
mean,
that
but
was
that's what I think you're gonna do anyway. I think you're gonna do loan to
yeah.
buy.
What would you what position would you want to, if you could pick one?
We need centre back reinforcements. You know what the funny thing is? We've actually got two hot prospect defenders who are
Oh
currently
yeah, you
on
have.
loan at other clubs. We've got Lucas Vukovic, who's playing in Belgium, and apparently he's looking like a wonder kid right now. And we've got Ashley Phillips, who we got from Blackburn a couple of seasons ago. He's been on loan. He's on loan at Stoke at the moment. And right now we're playing Gray at centre back. When, if I'm being really honest, we need his legs in midfield, because at the
Yeah,
moment our midfield has been a big problem. It's been a big weakness this season, even though we've got the names. And in all honesty, our midfield has probably been the area, or the central midfield has been the area where we've had the least injuries. But between Basuma, Sarr, Madison, Bentancur, Kulusevski, none of them have been consistent enough this season. Kulusevski is probably the outstanding
yeah.
performer out of that crew. But for me, he's had to play in other positions to fill a gap, or fill the gap in a lack of quality, because for me, we don't get enough out of Basuma, Sarr, Madison, and Bentancur on a consistent basis. I think that is a big problem. Those guys have to protect our defense, and I said this last week. It's the same thing again. Like, Wolves were able to play really, really good football in the final third, and they opened us up quite easily at times. And I just felt, if I think they're obviously, like, they're sort of building up confidence, and Pereira's done a good job since he's come in. If you have to give him credit, he's got two
Yeah.
wins and a draw against a couple of so-called decent teams. And yeah, right now I can't see light at the end of the tunnel. So I'm just gonna see what happens, and can't wait for this season to be done with, so we can actually see what the next move is going to be.
Would you take Rashford alone if you could get him from United?
No, I tell you why. Not because Rashford it doesn't have the quality. It's because of his attitude. Like, Rashford has never ever been a player to run and do work off the ball. And in the
He's
way that we
unhungry.
play, we need players. We're already struggling with certain men not running back
No.
the way they run forward. Rashford is another one of those type of players. We can't bring another one like that in. So for me, no. I would love to say yes, because I think he's the type of quality that we need. But if you're not going to do the work off the ball, and we don't have enough players to cover that kind of deficit. Do you know what I mean? Like, when
Yeah.
you have players like Hazard, you make sure that you've got two men who can do the work that Hazard doesn't do off
Yeah.
the ball. We don't have that.
Are you gonna get a
So
goalkeeper, or do you
we
think you're
need
gonna
to,
ride it
man.
out?
Like, Forster's
I,
not been terrible, but with his feet, with the way that we want to play football, we can't afford to have him playing there. Like, he should be a third choice keeper. Like, looking at
yeah.
just the last paycheck before retirement. So I don't really understand, what we're looking at. But I think Forster looked like he was injured at one point, and then we were warming up Austin, and we were just like, we know that these guys ain't good enough, because we've seen them in preseason, and we've been like,
Is it that
they're
bad?
they're there for the homegrown quota. Let's be honest,
Okay.
right now.
Have you got a goalkeeper on loan? I think someone said you might be recalling someone from loan.
Maybe, I
But
think there is a goalkeeper on loan, but I can't remember the name, and I don't know where he's playing right
okay,
now.
I'll have a check.
But we do need to bring in another goalkeeper. It won't be easy, because who's letting goalkeepers just.
Yeah, boy. Goalkeepers aren't. They're not. The good ones are hard to find, right?
Yeah, and who's gonna come that's prepared to be second fiddle as well. That's the other thing, because goalkeeping is not. something that, or goalkeepers, they want to play unless they just looking for the paycheck. So I don't know, man. Uh, for me, we need a goalkeeper, but we need another striker. We need another striker, and we need for me a right winger. We've got left
Yeah.
side. I think good enough. I don't think Brennan Johnson offers enough. If he doesn't score, I don't feel like he does any. I don't feel like he contributes enough to the game unless he gets a goal.
Good. That makes sense. Sometimes it's what's it called as well. It's the decision making.
Yeah.
Well, who ran into each other? Did two players run
Oh my
into?
goodness, that was Solanke and Bentancur. Don't know what. Why are you not shouting?
Someone's got to talk,
Mine.
man.
Like
that
someone said, this only Spurs. It's so true. And you know what? It almost looked like one of them injured each other. I thought that someone was going to come up injured because that's the type of season we've had. I'm surprised that they didn't, but it was hilarious when we saw it in the stadium. We just shook our heads, thinking, "Oh, only we could do this."
that's
And
it,
it was a
you
great
know what?
opportunity as well.
That is a goal as well. You think that's a
It's a
goal?
great opportunity. Probably not because it was on their weaker foot. Like they both would have had to use their left foot. So I'm not saying it's a guaranteed goal, but it should at least be a shot on target.
Yeah, you got to force the keeper to work.
Yeah, 100%.
So would you
Yeah.
sacrifice the league now for the either the Carling Cup or an FA
What
or
do you mean
Europa?
sacrifice what league?
I was gonna say. I was gonna say
I
what
mean,
league?
no, I mean that's like
League position? You mean?
league
You
position.
mean league positions?
Bro,
Yeah,
we cannot qualify for Europe through the league this season. I'm telling you now. We are looking at a cup, and I don't know where our league position is going to end up being, but we're going to have to just deal with it and hope that we can go on a good cup run because, and when I say the good cup run, I mean win one because that's the only way we're getting in Europe this season, if in my opinion. On any day, Tottenham can win a one-off game, but it's
yeah.
do they turn up on that given day? That's always the conundrum with Spurs, isn't it? It's typical. Will we turn up on that given day? But yeah,
Yeah.
I would sacrifice the league for a cup as long as it didn't mean relegation.
I think there are a couple teams worse than you.
There are a
There
couple
are a
teams
couple
worse
teams
than
worse
me,
than
but right now it's been a long time since I've had to look at the bottom half of the table, bro. It is peak.
yeah, that is bad.
But yeah,
Well, you're gonna
on
talk.
to the next game. We got Newcastle on the weekend at home, so boy,
So
it's
that
gonna be
segues into
peak.
another team that's worse than you, then, right?
Man United.
United.
Mate. I mean, we've seen a lot of stories. Obviously, the last couple of days, Man United fans saying it's the worst first half performance they've ever seen from Man United. Blah 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 blah. What does Amarim do? Does he have to sacrifice this formation? Because I think, as much as he's a man of his principles, but at the same time, they don't have the personnel to play this.
Yeah, I
They don't have
agree.
the personnel.
They do not have the personnel. Do you know what it is? They would say pride comes before the fall, yeah. And if he's gonna be that prideful, he could be in the championship if he keeps playing football like this. They've out of the bottom three. I think they scraped to win against Southampton. I know they beat Leicester, but then they've lost. They drew at
To beat
Ipswich.
Leicester with Rude though.
Yeah, they drew at Ipswich, and then they lost to Wolves.
Yeah,
Like,
but their record against the bottom three ain't any worse than ours. It's not about the bottom three. It's about where they're gonna get the points going
but, no,
forward.
but yeah, exactly. But I'm not even looking. I'm talking about the teams that they got to beat to stay up. Because
Honestly, I do think he's gonna have to see sense at some stage because you
yeah,
can't keep doing the same thing over and like I say that about Ange. I'm like, you cannot keep doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. We keep doing the same thing over and over. But they're starting with formation. Our formation isn't a problem. It's the mentality and how we manage games. Theirs is literally the setup from the beginning is wrong. And he is obviously you doing a lot of trial and error. But when he's starting to for me it seems like he's starting to work out what his best back line three are, but it's all the other areas like the two in midfield.
No way.
that was criminal. I know he didn't have options, but you knew they was going to get run through when they've got playing against Gamarish, Tonali, and uh, Joe Linton.
Joe
You knew
Linton.
You knew that. I think Stevie Wonder knew that was going to happen. It was obvious, and the way that they were playing through that midfield was unforgivable. They were like cones in that first half, and I think they took off Xerxes, and I know that things changed when they brought on Kobe and played him a
But
bit
I
further
think
forward.
they should have kept him on though.
But you're killing that guy's confidence, man. He's
Yeah.
already lacking confidence, and I don't think he's helping. And I get that he's going to play. He's principled, and he said, "Oh, we're either going to live by this or die by
Yeah.
this." But you've got to do something to get the team playing football. You've got to give them confidence. I don't think you could just make them play their way badly in this formation where they're drowning in and just say keep drowning. You have to learn how to tread water.
They've
Because
got to find a way to score goals, bro. I'm looking at it now. Southampton have scored less goals. They scored 12. Ipswich have scored 18. Everton have scored 15. Crystal Palace have scored 20. Man United are next on that list with 21 goals this season. 21 goals.
But they didn't sign a striker in the summer. They signed somebody who's not a striker and who's not a number 10. I don't know what.
Ironically, he scored that guy scored more goals than Rasmus Højlund does. Rasmus Højlund's got 2 Premier League goals this season. That's what I thought. Yes, he's the younger guy, so you take off a younger guy, but you probably take off Eriksen.
Honestly,
Get the
though,
legs.
how many chances is Højlund getting?
Yeah, they're not. That's fair.
I don't see him getting chances. Like, I don't think he's a bad striker. He's young and he's learning his trade, but I don't think he's a bad striker. I don't think they're creating enough clear-cut chances for their players, and a lot of that is decision making in the final third. A lot of that is Bruno trying to do things probably too Hollywood too early, because some of the passes, like, we know Fernandes can play a pass, but he also knows that he can play a pass, and sometimes he just goes too far with what he's trying, and sometimes it's too early, and he'll blame the player for not thinking what he's thinking, and you're like, bro, that pass wasn't really on.
Never on. Yeah.
No. You know what's horrible as well is that Trippier was trying to score from corners. He was actually taking liberties. They were taking liberties.
Why not, boy?
The 2 goals they scored are unforgivable as well.
So
Martinez, he got dunked on by Joe Linton. It was. I think I sent Lamont a meme about him getting dunked on because it was that bad. He's too little. You'd have thought that they thought that was a coup when they got him ahead of Arsenal. It looks like they've done us a favour.
For real.
Really. Well, then again, to be fair, we probably have played a right back, but he doesn't.
Man said right back, you know, not even left back.
Not even left. He'll be gone. You got rid of him.
Yeah, no, he would have been gone. I think that whole team. You could talk about getting rid of those players, but this was the same team last season. This is pretty much the same team last season that beat Liverpool in the FA Cup, and I get it. Like
a huge amount of luck.
Maybe,
but it doesn't matter. But right now, they can't even get that luck.
That team beat your team, and look at your league positions this season. Yeah. Look at the difference, and you can't just be. It's not all Ten Hag's fault, and even when look at the new manager bounce when Rude took over, and they were raving about, oh look, we're back now, we've won 4 in 4, and then Amarin's taken over, they won 2 games, or they drew against Ipswich, and then they had that game against Bodo Glimt where they didn't look good, but scored 2.
I actually think they missed a trick there, you know. I think they missed a trick there. I actually think they should have stuck with Rude to the end of the season, because let's be honest, Man United they scrapped their plans because they didn't want to keep Ten Hag originally. Then they decided to, okay, we'll keep him. They sacked him, so they went back on their mistake that they thought they made anyway. Rude's come in, he's got them a few wins. Just settle, because they still had to pay money to get Amarim to leave. And they could have just waited till the end of the season. They could have seen how Rude was, seen if there was some kind of change that he could continue to whatever period and let it ride out. But no, they said,
he didn't want to come. He didn't want to come. He openly said in press conferences, I asked Man United if I could come in the end of the season. They told me no.
Yeah, because he made a promise.
You know what it is? I think United tried. the way that Jim Afra is running it, he's trying to run it like a business, and he's trying to be ruthless, and it's a ruthless thing. He's trying to say to Amarin, it's like now or
Yeah,
never,
now or
isn't it?
never. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and I get it. Like, if you want to come to United, then why would you wait? Because it is one of the biggest jobs in football. But I don't think he realised how big a job this is.
No
Yeah.
one
No,
does. And everyone that gets there says the same thing when they leave. They're
yeah.
like, you don't know. You don't know how bad it is. And like Mourinho said, people said he got when he got second and won Europa, everyone was like, "This is typical Mourinho. Such a big head. This is my biggest achievement ever, finishing second in the Premier League to Man City." And they thought he was just on a Mourinho ego trip. But
Mm,
in all honesty, it really does look like he managed miracles there. And that look
yeah.
how long ago that was. Was that 5 years ago?
Probably
Yeah,
Might
more.
even be more than that.
might even
Probably
be more.
more. I'm pretty sure it's more. But yeah, enough of Man United talk. We'll have more on them after. Hopefully, we beat them on the weekend. So Man City have stopped the rut. They beat Leicester, and to be fair, Leicester probably were unlucky not to score. There's the Vardy. He could have had a penalty if he held his run. He got cleaned out by the goalkeeper, and it would have been a penalty. So he was unlucky there. Some other
It was
chances
offside,
that
wasn't it?
yeah. So then if he held his run, he wouldn't have been offside,
Mm.
and he still would have been cleaned out. And then there's other chances, but Man City, they're not back. I would even look at the performance and Man City are back. They just beat a really rubbish team that were nowhere near enough good enough. I mean, they scored against us, Leicester, but they didn't have a shot on goal after the 6th minute against us. So
Yeah,
when they got to Man City just had to do the basics, get the basics right, and you get the win today. And they didn't look confident. Like even when they scored, they didn't look like they were like, okay, cool, we're gonna grab it by the scruff of the neck and we're gonna take them out completely. They still look a
But
bit
that's
nervous.
what happens when you've only won one game in 10 or 11 or
Yeah,
whatever it's got to. But that's all you want. You need to get points in the bag. Like
yeah.
Arsenal, since Saka's gone, you're like everyone was thinking, oh, is they gonna be derailed, blah blah blah.
No.
And they've got 3 wins on the bounce, 9 points, and now they're second after other teams have now dropped points. Arsenal are second again. So
Mm.
to me, City right now and Pep is gonna be like, we need to get points on the board. And he's probably never ever said it like this before. He's like, I
Never.
don't care how we win, we just need to win. Like I can't imagine that's Pep saying that. But I think that kind of game, he's like, guys, we just need to get 3 points here. And whatever it takes, you got to do what you got to do. And that's what they did. A clean sheet as well, which they haven't had in weeks. So for them,
I'm hoping this doesn't continue. I'm hoping they don't start to find form.
Bro, they got West Ham next. West Ham will give them what they need, bro. I've
where
just seen them
though?
play.
Are they at home
It's
or
at home.
away?
It's at home. It's at
Well,
home.
Oh,
It
okay.
might be a bit of pressure because they're at home, but West Ham, they're no threat. I mean, all right. To be fair, they had midfielders missing when we played them. They had a few players missing, but I still don't think West Ham will be a threat to Man City. It won't be a game where Man City win 3-4-0. They may just win it 2-0 again, and it'll be a scrappy performance. But I think they'll get back to back.
let's hope not, James. I need, I
I
need,
know
I
you're
need,
worried about it.
I need them to
They're,
be in the
they're
mud.
14 points behind us. They're far, man. They're far.
I need them to be in the mud for a little while longer, at least
But
to the
yeah.
end of the season.
Yeah, so that was the end of year games, stroke New Year game for greedy Arsenal. Um, so, like we always like to do, we'll do our predictions for the game week coming up. And I believe Lamont has really brought his in. And he has gone with Liverpool 3, Man United 2.
A
Ambitious, but
spirited Man United
I'm
performance,
not
maybe he's looking at.
I'm not going to tempt fate in it. So he's gone for Man United 3-2. I'll let you guys
Well, no, what are you going for,
talk
bruv?
about it.
Yeah,
You got to
Me,
predict your own team.
3-0.
3-0.
Yeah, 3-0.
But at half
It
time.
could be. Listen, it could be more. It could be more.
Right.
But I don't want to be. I don't want to be arrogant. Like I said, it's Man United. I never ever think we're going to batter Man United. And yes, it's happened a few times, but something can just happen, and then it'll be 2-1 or something stupid like that. So I'll go for what should be on the current levels. It should be at least 3-0. So I'll go with 3-0.
You being 3-0 a counter at their ground, so At Anfield, it could be anything.
Yeah, true. Right, no, don't let you guys change my mind again. 3-0. Bevan?
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 3-1.
Who you playing?
Yeah, I was
Brighton
gonna say.
away.
Yeah,
Oh, Brighton are hit and miss right now. Jekyll and Hyde team,
yeah.
boy.
They're not. They. I think they've drawn a lot of games. I know they. I know that they can. They can turn up when they want to. I know. I'm hoping that we get them off the back of some bad performances, and we can continue our run. I know. The thing is, every time I've said something like this, my team has ended up drawing, and if I said a draw, we've ended up winning. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with it. 3-1, man.
Okay.
Hope.
Leon, home to Newcastle.
Man, I don't know, bro. I'm gonna go for a draw. I'm gonna go 2-2, which sounds weird because we haven't drawn that many games this season. But
Mm.
I don't want to predict us to lose
This
again.
season, and you don't draw games. You hardly ever draw games. In I think last season you went almost like 3/4 of the season, if not almost 90% of the season, until you drew a game.
It was just wins and losses, bro. Wins and losses. That's all we dealing. But I don't know, man. I can't predict another loss, so I'm just gonna go 2-2
Okay.
against Newcastle.
Well, that's our predictions. Let me just double check, see if Daryl has put his in. I'm not sure we asked him actually, which is so I'll double check. If not, we'll say what he said at the beginning of next week's show. No. Um. Yeah. Well, this has been another episode of Armchair Pundits podcast, and thank you for watching. Don't forget to share once you've watched it. Now you've watched it, I should say. Don't forget to like it. Please like it because you've watched it, so you might as well like it. If you've got this far, you've liked it. Realistically, um, yeah. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. So, happy New Year to all. Wishing you all a prosperous New Year. Not for your clubs, but for you all personally. Unless you're Liverpool fans. Yeah, take it easy, guys. Peace out.
Take it easy. Later.
Laters.